Are you tired of feeling stuck in your career, constantly watching others climb the ladder while you're left in the dust? What if I told you that the reason you're not advancing isn't because you're not working hard enough, but because you're playing by the wrong rules? That's right. The conventional advice about working harder or waiting for your turn is holding you back more than you realize. In today's video, I'm going to share with you practical strategies that will completely change the way you approach career advancement. Strategies that go against the grain and actually get results. Yes, these methods are a little controversial, but trust me, they work. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools and mindset to not just survive your career, but to thrive and rise above the competition. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could be the game changer you've been waiting for. Number 1. Burn your bridges. Strategically, burning bridges. You've probably heard this advice your whole life. Don't burn bridges, always leave things on good terms. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes strategically burning your bridges is exactly what you need to accelerate your career. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "What? That sounds like career suicide." Hear me out. I'm not saying you should storm out of your job with a dramatic exit yelling at your boss. That would be reckless. But there's power in intentionally walking away from situations that no longer serve your growth. Yes, trust me on this. We've all been there, right? Stuck in a job or situation where you feel undervalued, unappreciated, or like you're just going through the motions. Maybe you've stayed because you're comfortable, because you don't want to rock the boat, or because leaving feels like too much of a risk. But here's the thing. Playing it safe might be holding you back more than you realize. The truth is, comfort isn't going to get you to that next level. It's the discomfort, the change, the taking a leap of faith that pushes you to where you really want to be. So why burn your bridges? Well, it's about forcing yourself into a position where you have no choice but to grow. Think about it like this. When you leave a job without a backup plan or a clear next step, you're no longer stuck in a dead-end role. Suddenly, you're motivated to find a new opportunity that actually challenges you. It forces you to elevate your skills, network aggressively, and step into roles that you might have hesitated to take on before. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but that discomfort is the fuel you need to accelerate your career. I remember a time when I worked in a job that wasn't helping me grow at all. I was stuck, doing the same things day in and day out, and I knew I was capable of so much more. But every time I thought about leaving, I'd hold back. What if I don't find anything else? What if I'm making a mistake? But one day, I decided to take the leap. I handed in my resignation letter with no plan. It was terrifying. But here's the twist. Having no backup plan didn't let me sit around waiting. It forced me to hustle, to network, to actively look for the right opportunity. Within weeks, I had secured a role that not only challenged me, but also helped me grow in ways I never expected. I had no choice but to succeed, and guess what? I did. Here's the emotional payoff. By burning that bridge, I reclaimed my space, my peace, and my confidence. I stopped second-guessing myself, stopped making excuses, and started believing that I was capable of more. And you can do the same. If you're feeling stuck, take a hard look at your situation. Is it comfortable? Is it easy? Then maybe it's time to burn that bridge, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Make the decision to do what's necessary to move forward. You deserve that growth. So, what's the takeaway? Sometimes, strategic discomfort is your best friend. It's about taking control of your journey, even when it means walking away from the familiar. Don't be afraid to burn a bridge if it's going to lead you to something better. Trust yourself enough to make the leap, because your next chapter won't start until you burn the old one. Your space, your peace, and your dignity. Now go claim them. Number 2, fake it till you make it, but do it with integrity. Here's a truth bomb. Fake it till you make it is not just a catchphrase. It's a strategy that, when done right, can completely transform your career. I know. You might be thinking, wait a second, you want me to lie or pretend to be something I'm not? But hang on, it's not about deception. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that you know you can become. The trick is doing it with integrity. Yes, trust me on this. We've all been in that situation, right? You land a new job, or you're given a new responsibility, and you suddenly feel like you're in way over your head. Everyone around you seems to know exactly what they're doing, and you're just trying not to trip over your own feet. You're asking yourself, can I really do this? Am I even qualified? I've been there. Hell, I'm sure most of us have. It feels like everyone else has it together and you're just trying to keep up without getting exposed. But here's the thing, everyone feels that way at some point. Everyone. And this is where the fake it part comes in. But here's the twist. It's not about pretending to know something you don't or lying to your boss. It's about stepping up with confidence, even if you're still learning the ropes. It's about showing up as someone who believes in their ability to grow, someone who is ready to rise to the occasion. And the key to doing it with integrity, it's knowing you don't have to have it all figured out today to succeed. As long as you're learning, growing, and maintaining authenticity in your journey, the faking part doesn't feel like deception. It feels like strategic confidence. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about owning the process of becoming who you want to be. Let me tell you about a time I had to fake it till I made it, but did it with full integrity. There was this project I was given at work, and let me tell you, it was huge. I was excited, but deep down, I had absolutely no idea how I was going to pull it off. The pressure was on, but I knew I couldn't let my team see me sweat. So I showed up with confidence, even when I had no idea what I was doing. I asked questions, learned on the fly, and didn't pretend to have all the answers. I gave it my all and made sure I was learning as much as I could. And guess what? By the end of the project, not only did I succeed, but I was also more capable than I ever imagined. It was a wild ride, but that confidence to fake it was the thing that got me through it. And doing it with integrity meant I earned respect, not just results. Here's what I really want you to take away from this. Faking it isn't about pretending to be something you're not. It's about stepping into the version of you that will be, knowing you don't have to have it all figured out right away. It's about confidence that comes from the knowledge that you're learning and growing, not faking success. This approach is about reclaiming your power, your space, and your growth. It's about looking at those moments of doubt and saying, I may not know everything, but I am capable of figuring it out, and I'm going to do it with honesty, integrity, and dedication. So, here's your takeaway. Go out there, step up, and fake it with integrity. Believe in your ability to grow, and remember, the journey to making it is just as important as the destination. Your growth, your confidence, your integrity, that's what will set you apart in the long run. Keep showing up, keep learning, and own the process. Because in the end, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real, and that's what makes all the difference. Number 3, be a rebel, not a yes man. Here's a thought that might just rattle your world a bit. Being a rebel in your career can actually be a huge advantage. Now I know you're probably thinking, hold up, isn't rebellion a career killer? But hear me out. Being a yes man might get you through the day, but it won't get you far. Playing it safe and agreeing with everything won't help you stand out. If you want to move up, you've got to stop blending in and start shaking things up. Yes, trust me on this. We've all been there, feeling like the quiet one in the room, nodding along to everything your boss or colleagues say, even though deep down, you know there's a better way to approach things. You might have a great idea, but you hold back because it feels too risky or you don't want to rock the boat. We've all been the person who agrees to that extra task, even though we're already overwhelmed, just because we don't want to seem difficult. It's all too easy to slip into that habit of people-pleasing, thinking it will keep the peace or help you stay on everyone's good side. But here's the kicker. Being agreeable doesn't lead to growth. Now, I'm not telling you to go in guns blazing and disrespectfully challenge everything that's said. That would be reckless. But here's the thing. You have ideas, and those ideas are worth sharing. Yes, even if they're a little unconventional. It's okay to challenge the status quo. It's okay to ask the tough questions. In fact, it's necessary. When you do, you show that you're not just following the crowd, you're leading it, even if it's just in a small way. People notice rebels, and here's why. They make people think. When you're willing to voice what others won't, that's how you stand out. That's how you get noticed by the right people. It's not about being combative, it's about being constructive. Think of it as challenging ideas, not people. Let me give you a personal example. I remember when I first started working on a project that involved a lot of brainstorming with a team. Everyone was on the same page and no one was offering anything new. It was just yes, yes, yes. So I threw in an idea that was, to be honest, a little unconventional, maybe even risky. I could see the team's faces freeze for a moment, and I thought, okay, maybe I've just ruined everything. But here's what happened next. We dug into the idea, and it actually opened up a whole new direction for the project that no one had even considered before. Sure, it was a bit of a curveball, but it made all the difference in the end. And guess what? My willingness to speak up didn't hurt my career. It helped it. It showed I wasn't just going with the flow. I was thinking critically, challenging norms, and adding real value. Here's the emotional side of things. When you stop being the yes man and start being the rebel in a smart, constructive way, you reclaim your space and your confidence. You stop feeling like you have to shrink yourself to fit in. This is about giving yourself permission to be bold, to voice your opinion, and to trust your instincts. It's about not letting fear of judgment hold you back from sharing what's really on your mind. So here's the takeaway. Don't be afraid to be a rebel. Stop hiding behind the safety of agreement and start challenging the ideas around you. You don't have to be disrespectful, but you do have to be brave. The world needs more critical thinkers, more people willing to ask the tough questions, and more individuals who refuse to just go with the flow. When you become that person, you'll discover a whole new level of respect and growth. Your space, your peace, and your dignity, that's what you get when you stand firm, speak up, and don't settle for yes. Number 4, leverage your enemies. Here's a bold statement for you. Your enemies might be the best assets you never knew you had. Now, before you roll your eyes or think I've lost it, hear me out. Most of us are taught to avoid confrontation, to steer clear of people who don't like us, and to keep our distance from anyone who might be a little hostile. But what if I told you that instead of fearing your enemies, you could actually leverage them to advance your own goals? Yes, trust me on this. We've all faced those situations, whether at work, school, or even in personal relationships, where someone just doesn't like us. Maybe they've got it out for you, or they've said something behind your back. You feel the tension, the discomfort, and maybe even a little anger. It's natural to want to avoid them or find ways to win over them. But here's the thing, they can actually be your secret weapon. Think about it. These people are often the loudest critics, right? They're the ones who'll point out flaws, challenge your every move, and sometimes even throw obstacles your way. And while that's annoying, it's also incredibly valuable, because their objections and criticisms highlight your weaknesses, and that's where you have the opportunity to grow. Now, I'm not saying you should become best friends with everyone who doesn't like you. No, that's not the point here. But what if instead of letting their negativity weigh you down, you used it to fuel your own progress? When someone challenges you, it forces you to evaluate your choices, sharpen your skills, and improve your strategies. It pushes you to become better. And here's a fun twist. When you start improving in response to your enemies, you not only gain personal growth, but you start making them question their own beliefs. Now, you're not just surviving their criticism, you're thriving in spite of it. Let me give you a real example. A few years ago, I was working on a big project with a colleague who didn't exactly see eye to eye with me. In fact, they were downright critical of my approach. They were constantly questioning my ideas, pointing out flaws, and even doubting my abilities. At first, it felt like a personal attack, but after a while, I realized something. They were giving me the roadmap to improve. Their objections weren't random. They were telling me exactly where I needed to step up. So instead of letting their negativity get to me, I took it as a challenge. I worked harder to refine my ideas, sharpen my skills, and prove them wrong. And guess what? By the end of the project, not only had I exceeded expectations, but I'd also earned the respect of everyone involved, including my once critical colleague. Here's the emotional payoff. By using your enemies as a mirror, you reclaim your power. This isn't just about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that no matter what obstacles are thrown your way, you have the strength to overcome them. It's about not letting anyone, whether friend or foe, dictate your worth. The best part? The more you leverage their criticism, the less it hurts. You stop fearing what they think and start using their energy to propel yourself forward. So what's the takeaway here? Leverage your enemies. Use their criticism to fuel your growth, sharpen your skills, and take your goals to the next level. It's not about being petty or getting revenge. It's about finding strength in the struggle, using adversity as a tool for personal development. When you do that, you transform your biggest challenges into your greatest opportunities. Your space, your peace, and your dignity. Those are the rewards you'll earn by turning enemies into allies of your growth. Number 5. Master the art of being unavailable. Here's a secret most people don't tell you. Mastering the art of being unavailable could be your ticket to better focus, respect, and overall success. I know. It sounds counterintuitive, right? How can being unavailable be a good thing? You're probably thinking, won't I miss out on opportunities or look unapproachable? But hear me out. Being unavailable is not about being rude or shutting people out. It's about setting boundaries that protect your time, energy, and ultimately, your peace. Let's be real for a second. We've all had those moments when someone, whether it's a colleague, a friend, or a family member, suddenly demands our attention. It's usually the urgent stuff that pops up at the worst time. You know the type, the text that pulls you away from something important, the call you just can't ignore, or the endless stream of notifications that distract you from what you really need to do. It's exhausting, right? We've all been there, feeling like we're constantly running on empty, always reacting to others but never in control of our own time. It's frustrating, and it wears you down. But here's the twist. Being unavailable doesn't mean you're being selfish or neglectful. In fact, it's the opposite. When you master the art of being unavailable, you're prioritizing your own well-being and productivity. You're creating space for your goals, your needs, and your mental clarity. It's like this. If you're constantly available for everyone else, how can you possibly be fully available for yourself? Think about it. If you don't take the time to guard your own time, who else will? Let me tell you a personal story. A few months ago, I realized I was spreading myself too thin. I was answering texts before I even finished my first cup of coffee. I'd check my email every 5 minutes, and before I knew it, my entire day was hijacked by everyone else's priorities. I felt burnt out and disconnected from my own goals. So, I decided to try something different. I started scheduling me time, times when I would literally be unavailable. I'd leave my phone in another room, turn off notifications, and focus completely on the task at hand. At first, it felt a little uncomfortable. I had to get used to not instantly responding to every ping or call. But as I started implementing this, I noticed something incredible. I was getting more done, feeling more focused, and yes, even more energized. People started respecting my time more too. It was like a little shift in the universe. I had reclaimed control of my space. Now let's talk about how this change feels emotionally. Mastering the art of being unavailable isn't just about the practical benefits. It's about reclaiming your peace. It's about telling the world, hey, my time matters too. And here's the thing. When you take a stand for your time, people will respect you for it. They'll start to value your attention more, and you'll find that the world doesn't crumble when you don't drop everything for every demand. In fact, the opposite happens. You become a person of value, someone who is not easily swayed, someone who has a sense of purpose and direction. You show others that you're not at their beck and call, but that your time is precious, just like theirs. So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Don't be afraid to be unavailable. Take control of your time, your space, your peace, and your dignity. These are your rights, and no one should take them from you. Mastering the art of being unavailable is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. It might feel awkward at first, but trust me, once you get the hang of it, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope you found these strategies insightful and helpful as you navigate your career journey. If you gained something valuable from this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more practical advice and tips on leveling up in your career. If you know someone who could benefit from this, share the video with them. It might just be the spark they need to make a change. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and share your personal experiences or any strategies you've found useful in advancing your own career. Let's create a space where we can all learn from each other. Remember, your career is in your hands, and the only limits are the ones you set. Keep pushing, keep striving, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. I'll see you in the next video.